So, how do you sing better high notes by yawning? Have you heard of this advice before that you have to yawn so that you can sing high notes better, so that you have an open throat, you'll be able to sing with more relaxation and you wouldn't sound so strained. Because guess what? When you're yawning, you're so relaxed. And when you're relaxed, there'll be no tension. But is that really true? Now, by the end of this video, you will understand how is it that by yawning and by doing a very specific way of yawning that I'm about to show you in a moment, you are going to be able to see a lot of fast improvements in your high notes. Hey, it's JJ here, and if this is your first time watching my videos, what I do is I help singers like you unlock your high notes fast by showing you how you can access your high complete mixed voice vocal placement. So if that sounds like you, then go ahead, hit the subscribe button down below and let's get started right now. So normally we'll hear that, oh, if you can yawn, it opens up your throat and it makes your high notes more relaxed. Now, here's the only problem I have with that advice. For those of you who have not heard of that advice before, just simply try yawning. The only problem I have with this is that whenever you're yawning, you tend to over-depress your larynx and you lower your larynx too much. And in my other video, I explain why is it that it is not advisable to purposely push our larynx down when we are singing. So go ahead, click the video in the cards if you have not watched that one after this video. But for now, I'm going to show you a very specific way of yawning that it is what I personally prefer, because when you do that, you actually don't depress your tongue. Once again, another video is my tongue position video. Watch that one later after this video. So when you don't depress your tongue and you instead allow your tongue to stay arched forward in a perfect tongue position, then you can marry both the benefits of getting that relaxed yawn and still allow your tongue to be arched forward. Because for most of us, when we actually truly yawn, what happens is we pull our tongue back like this. You can see that my tongue is being put backwards. Now, the type of yawn that I'm gonna advise you to try out today is, what if instead we sing something on a hide a yawn kind of feeling. So let's first try to hide a yawn. So
Are you yawning?
I actually really just yawned. Must be tired nowadays. So if you tried it along with me, most likely you're yawning now, because we all know that yawning is contagious. So good, try it and feel that hide the yawn feeling and contrast that with just yawning. You can feel that when you're yawning, your tongue is being put backwards. But whenever you're hiding a yawn, if I were to open my mouth up from that position, my tongue is still arched forward. So go ahead, try to hide a yawn and open up. When you open up, your tongue should still be arched. And now what we've done is we have allowed our larynx to be relaxed, our body to be relaxed, and at the same time, our tongue to be in the right position. So one of the best, my favorite vocal exercise that you can do, it looks a bit like this. You can go higher. Hide the yawn, hide the yawn inside, and then we go up. Open. So relaxed, but don't fall asleep when you're doing this vocal exercise. So I'm just went through up to high C. Look, here we're not trying to be a mixed voice or anything. Everything just now, it was like a falsetto head voice, and it was meant to be that way. The reason being, you want to take advantage of the yawn to keep yourself relaxed. And I've said this multiple times before in my other videos that this very exercise that we were doing here, it is a very great exercise for you to access your high head voice placement. And you can do so by doing this, hiding a yawn feeling, because when you're actually doing this, when your tongue is arched forward in a perfect tongue position, and then you realize that now you have an open throat. And when you have an open throat, guess what? You will be able to access your high head voice placement. And then once we build the high head voice placement over time, in stages 3 and 4 of the complete mixed voice vocal methodology, we will then learn how to compress into the high head voice placement such that we get a more mixed voice sounding kind of voice. But it is not relevant here. For the sake of this video, all we're trying to do is we're trying to keep our voice relaxed while we are singing higher and higher into our vocal range. Keep it very relaxed. This way you'll be able to access your high head voice placement easier. At the same time, you should feel that your neck muscles, everything, it should be relaxed. This is one of those vocal exercises. If you do it this way, it should be super relaxed. And that is what you can do to use a yawn, or rather to hide a yawn kind of feeling, to get you the perfect tongue position, and yet it doesn't prevent your larynx from depressing too much. And that is why instead of actually yawning, I would recommend this hide a yawn feeling. Does that make sense? So now I'll go just a little bit more advanced. I'm going to show you something really amazing, but if you can't follow, there's no worries. Go ahead, just do whatever we have covered so far. But here's what I'm going to show you. What if you do this? So what I did there was, I purposely allowed my voice to break from my complete mixed voice placement into my high head voice placement. Can you hear that? Very simply, I just compress into the high head voice placement and in a very relaxed manner. And I'm going to emphasize the hide the yawn feeling even a bit more. Can you see how relaxed and smooth that mixed voice is? Can you hear that compression? One more. Very relaxed. I'm trying to hide my yawn. This is actually one of the best vocal exercise that I know of to help you transit into your mixed voice. Because why is that? Why is this so powerful? Because now I first found the right head voice placement for me to compress. Then all I have to do is to compress into that perfect position. Now, here's the mistake that most people will make. I want to show you a contrast. So what I did there was simply I found the right place, but I didn't compress into the tiny space, that precise, complete mixed voice vocal placement. I dropped out into my low placement, versus if I was doing this. G4 sharp for a guy. Pretty high note, didn't feel difficult. Hide the yawn into the high placement, and then you compress from there in that precise placement. I've already actually revealed the secret here, but how much you can understand, it depends on how well you have practiced your stage 1 and stage 2 of your complete mixed voice vocal methodology. So go ahead, if you'd like to find out how to access stage 1 and 2 of your complete mixed voice, then follow the link in the description box below, and I'll show you how to do so over there. Hey, it's JJ here, and I have to go and teach some students now. So I'll catch you again in another video.